All right, so we're going to talk about employee benefits for Amari Productions for the plan year beginning January 1st, 2023, going through December 31st, 2023. My name is Bill Hammett. This is the first time I'm meeting all of you. We recently became your broker, so we're really appreciative and honored to be that. My information is on the screen, as well as your dedicated account manager and benefit administrator. We're available all year long, not just during open enrollment. I'm a really good resource during open enrollment to help understand the plans, figure out what's best for you, understand the verbiage, and then take into account whatever personal situations you might be going through and how the best health plan can work for you. Throughout the year, if you need help with finding doctors, fighting claims, getting a new ID card, our staff is here for you. So think about us all year long and come back to us should you need us. Quick agenda, timeline of open enrollment. We'll talk about the new plans we're enrolling in, dental and vision plans we got, different vision plan we have available. We'll talk about how do we enroll, and then, like I said, jump in here with any questions that you might have. But if you don't have any questions right away but need us later on, there's our information. So open enrollment, this is our time of year to make any of the changes that we want to make. Today is November 18th. We're asking everybody to have logged in and made their enrollment or waiver selections no later than Tuesday, November 29th. We are moving to a new insurance company, so we need some time to process that. The insurance companies, this is the busiest time of year, so maybe if we could ask that you maybe jump in there and get this done before Turkey Day, that could even be more helpful, but we understand that's a pretty short turnaround. So if you need a little more time, Tuesday, November 29th is our deadline. This is the time to enroll or waive anybody that you might want to enroll, maybe add a dependent, remove a dependent, add the dental, remove the dental, whatever it may be. This is your time of year to make any of those changes. Any changes you do make would go into effect January 1st. So even if you logged in today and added the dental plan, that wouldn't actually happen until January 1st for you. So that's when these plan changes will happen. And you'll complete these applications online at the EASE portal, just like you've done in years past. So we have 7 medical plans from Anthem Blue Cross. So you might recall we had Blue Shield and we had Sharp Health Plan. We had that because Sharp Health Plan is what Amari's always had. It's always kind of been a local plan in San Diego. But of course, as you guys have brought on people outside of the county, outside of the state, that's been kind of an issue. So we added a Blue Shield plan to take care of that. This Anthem plan is going to replace both of those plans. And it's okay, because what we had was Sharp doctors in San Diego, and then basically in LA and other places, we had a limited network HMO from Blue Shield, and then out of state, we had a PPO available to us. We can do all of that with Anthem Blue Cross. All right, so Anthem Blue Cross, and they're more competitive than Blue Shield and Sharp are. So we are making that move. We've got 4 different HMO plans, 3 different PPO plans. The next slide is going to show you the HMO plans, and it's going to look like there's only 2, but I want to just point out right off the bat. You'll notice there's 2 silver HMO plans and 2 gold HMO plans. The Silver Priority Select HMO is, or wherever you see Priority Select, think about Scripps, okay? Priority Select in San Diego is a Scripps-based HMO network. Select is the Sharp-based HMO network. So if you're with the Sharp plan right now and you have Sharp doctors, Sharp Reesteely, Sharp Community Medical Group, whatever it may be, you want to go after the Select network plans. That's going to be most similar to the current plan you have right now with Sharp. For those of you that want Scripps, or maybe you want a different level of providers, this Priority Select network is for you. For those of you outside of San Diego County, the Select network would be the larger of the 2 networks, okay? Both are pretty robust, but they don't cover everybody. So looking up for certain providers on the Blue Cross website, which we'll get into that a little bit, is going to be important for you. All right, so that's the key there. So now we have our HMO plans. Again, like I said, here's our silver plans here, here's our gold plans. Looks like 2 plans total, but the silver HMO plans are identical in every way. It's just the provider groups you can see. So that's why I've got them listed as one, looks like one silver plan and one gold plan, because the benefits are identical across the board, simply just a matter of provider networks. So one thing I like to do, and this is a little boring, I'm going to warn you, but it is, I want to kind of go through the terminology of these benefit plans. There's a lot of different terms, and it can get confusing on what anything means. So I want to go over we'll go over the silver plan here. We've got a deductible. A deductible is, generally speaking, what the insurance company says you need to pay all of this number before we start paying any benefits for you. Now, this is the case all the way through until you see this term DED waived. Wherever you see DED waived, this means they waive that deductible and you get these copays right off the bat. So for office visits, it would cost $60 for a regular visit, $110 for a specialist, deductible waived. I do not need to meet my deductible before getting those copays. You'll see the deductible waived a couple of different times with diagnostic x-rays and labs, imaging, MRIs, scans, PET scans, CAT scans. And you'll see they kind of differentiate between office, freestanding, and the outpatient hospital setting. What you need to know here is if you are getting x-rays, blood work, MRIs, CAT scans from a facility that's located in a hospital, you're going to pay more. You're going to have to pay your deductible first, and then you get the benefit. If you know you need an MRI, blood work, whatever it may be, and you go to a facility that is a standalone facility that is not inside of a hospital setting, you can get those benefits at a much lower rate, okay? So if you forget all of this, just remember that there's a difference there, and you can call member services when you need these coverages a month, 2 months, 6 months from now, and just say, hey, can you help me find a standalone facility? Can you help me get this particular service for a copay rather than paying my deductible? As we get down to the bottom, you'll see these percentages. When you see a percentage, this kind of freaks people out because it says 45%. It's like, oh my God, if I have a $100,000 problem, this means I'm on the hook for 45 grand. No, that's not the way it works. The way it would work is, we'll just use me for example. If I'm on this plan and I have a $100,000 problem, I would pay 100% of the cost for the first $2,500. Then I would pay 45% of the cost. Blue Cross pays 55% of the cost until my deductible plus my 45% equals $9,100, at which point I pay no more for the rest of the year. So that's what they call an out-of-pocket maximum. So most of what you're paying for with your health insurance premium is the deal that at a certain number, you don't pay anymore and they pay everything else. So for the silver plan, that's $9,100. Now contrast that to the gold level plan where you have no deductible. Your out-of-pocket max is $6,600. Your doctor visits are $30 and $60. And then if you slide all the way down, you're going to see the biggest difference in my mind is the way that they treat hospital stays, surgeries, and emergency room visits. With this gold plan, you're going to pay a copay of $600 per day for a hospital stay for no more than 4 days. So if you're in there a week, they stop charging you the $600 on day 4. If you have the need for an outpatient surgery, it's a $450 copay. If you need to go to the emergency room, it's a $325 copay. So while these silver plans are going to be very tempting because of the premium, I want you to consider how you use your health plan. Do you have any predictable medical expenses? Are you getting MRIs on a regular basis? Are you going to have a baby? Do you need knee surgery? Are you mountain biking and snowboarding and maybe ending up in the emergency room once or twice a year? If that's you, I think it would be worth the extra few dollars out of your paycheck to buy up to the better plan. Remember, the money you're paying out of your paycheck is pre-tax, cheapest money you got. And the money that you're paying when you go to the hospital through deductibles and through co-insurance, that's all after-tax dollars. So if you have predictable expenses, it would actually ultimately be much cheaper for you to pay more for the gold plan because that surgery is going to cost you $450 rather than $2,500 plus 45%. So it's thousands of dollars of difference between the costs of the plan. Now, if you're just like, hey man, listen, insurance guy, I only go to the doctor once or twice a year, maybe you get prescription drug, silver's perfectly fine for you. But just think about over the last 3 years, how many surgeries, how many hospital stays, how many emergency room visits, and over the next 12 months, what can I predict about my healthcare usage? and that helps kind of inform you on what plan might work best for you. So just to kind of reiterate, the Select network is going to be mostly your Sharp. This is a San Diego, most of our people are in San Diego, so this is very San Diego centric. Sharp equals Sharp, Select equals Sharp Steely, Sharp Community, UC San Diego. Priority Select gets you into the Scripps Clinic, Mercy's, and if you have any kids enrolling in the plan, if you want to get into the Rady's Children's Health Network, that's going to be in the Priority Select medical group. Okay, so that's how you would, that's the plans that you would enroll in. So this is not all of the medical groups, just the most popular ones in San Diego. Now we got our PPO plans. We have a bronze PPO. This is available, especially for those of you that might be out of state. This is available to everybody in and out of California. For those outside of California, these are the 3 plans you must choose from. That bronze plan, very high deductible, $7,300 deductible. They do give you some copays for doctor visits and for generic drugs and for urgent care and stuff like that. It's also physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. You have a $75 copay there. But buyer beware on the bronze plans. If you end up in the hospital, you need an MRI, you end up getting surgery, emergency room, you're going to pay for everything up to $7,300. So great plan for anybody that's like, hey, I just want the cheapest PPO plan possible. I don't even plan on using it hardly at all. This is a good option. Our silver plan, kind of in the middle of the bronze and the gold, $2,200 deductible. Copays are a little bit more tolerable. You still are out of pocket for the hospital stays, for the surgeries, for the emergency room visits, but the deductible is lower. And then getting over to our gold plan, the showstopper here is the 0 deductible aspect of it, meaning you're never out of pocket 100%. Copays are more tolerable. There's no brand name drug deductibles, all that stuff. So still got a co-insurance percentage when you go to the hospital and with emergency room and surgery, but low deductible there. We don't have much in the way of PPO membership right now, so I'll kind of leave it there. If there's any questions about those plans that we just talked about, I'm happy to pause real quick and give all of you an opportunity to jump in.
All of us. Bill, did you say the PPO plans would only be for those who are out of state?
No, the PPO plans are available for California and out of state. For those employees that are located out of state, for those people that are located out of state, their only options are the PPO.
Gotcha.
To say it another way, the HMO plans are only available for California employees.
Okay, thank you.
All right. The other thing I want to point out, you might have noticed the prescription drug plan, they got this level 1, level 2, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, blah, blah, blah. So super annoying, no doubt about it. But prescription drugs are the #1 cost driver of healthcare expenses. In the late 90s, early 2000s, they equaled about 3% of your health plan premium. Today, they are 24% of your premium that you pay is simply the prescription drug benefits. So what you have seen and what you will continue to see is insurance companies tinkering with how they offer these benefits. And Anthem Blue Cross has different levels of pharmacies. All right. Tier 1, 2, 3, 4, all these. Tier 1 are generally your generic drugs. Tier 2 and 3 are going to be your brand name drugs that land in kind of different categories depending on how much they cost. Tier 4 isn't on this spreadsheet because just simply trying to limit the things on here so it's not so daunting. But Tier 4 is going to be your specialty drugs, these new cancer drugs, that new Hep C drug that's $90,000 for a 6-week treatment, self-injectable drugs. So different levels of pharmacies, different tiers. So the tiered network with Blue Cross is level 1 is going to be your CVS, it's going to be your Target, your Walmart, your Costco. Okay, so that's where you want to try to go. When you're getting your prescription drugs, think Costco, think CVS, think Target. If you go there, you will pay less. All right, so if we're looking at this silver plan here, if I'm going to Target or CVS or Costco, I'm paying $70 for that tier 2 drug. If I'm going to Rite Aid, or Walgreens, I'm paying $80. Okay, so this is a part of you being a little bit of a consumer. We've got to try to stay in the tier 1 network so you can save a few extra nickels. But level 2, of course, is still Walgreens, Rite Aid, all these type of things. So you're still able to go there, just costs you more. A couple of extra Anthem benefits. There is something called an EAP, which is an employee assistance program embedded into this policy. This is free to you. This is a great place to kind of get started on any kind of mental health journeys that you might need to embark upon, financial issues, relationship issues, work-life balance, elder care, legal consultations. These are a great, these impact all of us. Any one of them impacts all of us. And thankfully, over the last several years, the mental health stigma is kind of lifted. We're all kind of becoming more aware of our needs to investigate some of that, but it's really hard to know where to start. This EAP program is great, available every minute of every day of the year. They can handle a lot of different things. You could even get up to 3 in-person visits with this. So really, really great place to kind of get started on this journey of mental health. If you don't know where to start, this is a great place for you. This is not part of your employer, so anything that you would discuss here is completely confidential and safe place to do that. So nice little benefit there. We've got our online access. So this is kind of a split slide here. You can register at the Anthem website once you have your ID cards and your ID numbers, or you can download the Sydney app. That's the Anthem Blue Cross app. Really helpful. I suggest everybody download this app. The number one thing you can do to improve your healthcare experience is to have this app. If you have the app, you got your ID card. You can find doctors in your network. You can see the benefits you have. You can look at your prescriptions. You can schedule appointments. You can have video visits with doctors. All right. You can find the urgent care center nearest to you rather than being stuck going to the emergency room and paying thousands of dollars. So please, if you only do one thing here, download that app because it will improve your experience, I promise. So let's talk a little bit about finding a doctor. You might be interested right off the bat with, okay, is my doctor in the network? Going to anthem.com/CA is the Anthem website. If you add a little find care at the end of that, you'll be taken to this page here. There's 3 different ways you can search. You can log in. Of course, you guys aren't going to be able to do that right now. You don't have ID numbers. You could put your user member ID in there, which again, we don't have those right now. Or at the bottom, they've got the basic search. So you would just click that link there at the bottom. You would open up another bubble that asks you a bunch of different questions. We're going to go medical plan. We're going to go California. Okay, so this is going to be wherever you're at. We're all going to choose medical employer sponsored. All right. For those of you that are choosing a PPO plan, that's the prudent buyer PPO there. For those that are looking for the select network plan, which remember is mostly sharp doctors, here's your select network plan. And the priority select network would be called priority select HMO. So you want to make sure in that drop down you find the correct plan, and then you're off to the races, and you can search by the doctor's name. You can search by the treatment for whatever the issue is. You can search by zip code. So lots of ways to find providers there. I'm going to jump into dental next. Is there any questions about anything we talked about with Anthem? Okay, so let's talk about dental. Here's where we're getting into the nothing's changing part of the presentation. We're keeping Beam Dental in place. They've been good to us. We're going to keep them there, very competitive. Our PPO dental plan covers preventative care, so exams, cleanings, x-rays, covers it at 100%. For basic services such as fillings or endodontics, periodontics, oral surgery, this is covered at 80%. You can usually tell a good from a not good dental plan with how they cover the endodontics and periodontics. A lot of these dental plans try to slide those into the major categories so that they don't have to pay quite as much. But this particular plan has them in basic, so you would only pay 20% of the cost for that. And then for our major services, it's a 50-50 split. $1,500 a year maximum. This works exactly the opposite of what we saw with medical. With medical, we said, once you hit this number, you pay nothing else, they pay everything. With dental, it's the opposite. Dental, once they have spent on your behalf $1,500 in benefits, they do not pay anything more, and you pay everything else. All right. So this is a calendar year maximum. That's important because we have another month and a half of this calendar year. If you're currently enrolled in this PPO dental plan and you haven't used it very much, I would encourage you to use your plan before the end of the year, get any work done that you need to get done, because on January 1st, your $1,500 starts all over. They do not roll this amount over to the next year, so it kind of is a use it or lose it benefit. So if you need anything done, if you've been putting anything off, this year is a good time to do that so that you get some work done, you use that benefit, and January 1st starts, and you've got the entire year to use your $1,500. Any questions on dental? Vision plan, again with Beam, same one. We've got our vision plan. Every 12 months, you get an eye exam for a $10 copay. Every 12 months, you get a lenses copay of $25. And then every 2 years, you get a frames allowance of $150. If you need elective contact lenses, that's part of the same $150 allowance. If you're getting contacts that are necessary, then you get those every 12 months. So pretty standard vision plan. You get discounts after you use all your benefits. You still get discounts above that. So for frames and stuff like that, if you choose something that's over the allowance, they give you additional discounts on some of their frames. So this is another benefit for you. All of these PDFs are available when you log into the enrollment portal, and you can check underneath the different benefits and open up these PDFs and see more information than some of these snapshots embedded into the presentation. Any questions on vision? So what's next is you guys all should have just received an email that's asking you to log in and choose your benefits. It is mandatory that everybody do so. The website is amari.ease.com. So if you've logged into this site before, you do not need to wait for the email. You can log in and put your username and password, and you can get rolling on it. If you have never logged into it, you're going to need that email so that you can. It takes you there and it'll ask you to create a password. If anybody's having trouble that they can't log in, reach out to Britt or myself, and we can kind of help you. So this is what the enrollment portal looks like. So what's next is just looking for that email or logging in and enrolling. We're asking everybody to get this done by Tuesday the 29th. You'll do so through the Ease portal. And if you have any questions, you need any answers, I'll stick around on this call for as long as it takes. But feel free to reach out to us and we can help you throughout the year. So that is the end of my spiel. If any of you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to take them now.